Okay, hopefully you have been able to take a walk around and familiarise yourself with some of the features that are in place for fire safety within the building, premises or workplace that you're actually in. Did any of it seem familiar from what we've been talking about? Well, hopefully so, and it's just to point out that if you do take the time to pay attention to symbols, instructions and signage related to fire safety, then things start to become more clear and the whole intention of it becomes more apparent. If you are in a commercial building or shared accommodation, for example, it's very likely that in your walk around or just even thinking about a recent time that you've been in a similar premises, that you've come across or you recollect seeing fire extinguishers as a key feature. A good fire risk assessment should pick up and recommend where specific types of extinguishers may be used, and also to point out where to avoid certain types of extinguisher. This will limit the risk of using incompatible extinguishers for the wrong application, such as using a water-based extinguisher for electrical equipment. It's worth remembering that if we do pick an unsuitable extinguisher for the application, or just even we use it in the wrong way, we could put ourselves or others at risk of harm. Ideally, those who are expected to tackle a fire with extinguishers should be given some form of practical or in-house training, particularly within high-risk environments. Okay, so let's look at a couple of pointers just quickly in case you do have to use a fire extinguisher and you haven't received any further training. First of all, you may notice a tag similar to this one, and this is a tamper tag. And what it's used for is to indicate whether or not the fire extinguisher has been tampered with or used since it's last been serviced or looked at by an engineer. In this case, obviously, we can see the tamper tag is intact. So if you're walking along and you're looking at an extinguisher to pick up and use, a quick glance should show you whether the tamper tag has either been removed or not. So that's our first thing. Secondly then, if you look closely, you should be able to see here the pressure gauge, which some of our extinguishers will have. And what we want to see when we look at the pressure gauge is that the dial itself is sitting in the green zone. So there's not too much pressure, there's not too little pressure. It's just sitting within the right range for us to use the extinguisher as it is intended. If we look very closely at this one, what can you see? Well, you might have picked up that the dial itself is actually sitting just on the edge of the green range and perhaps into the higher pressurization zone. So if you were to see this, it may be worth just asking your engineer to take a little bit of the pressure out of the device before it could be used within its operating range. Other than that then, we have our handle, which of course we need to squeeze once we release our safety pin, and then we can release the water or whatever extinguishing media is in the extinguisher. So in this case, we'll demonstrate to you how you pop the pin out. So if you watch here, it will give a little pop and it breaks the tamper tag as we discussed, and allows the handle then to be used. We aim the horn or hose at the base of the fire, squeezing the handle as we walk towards the flames. Once the flames are out, step back and continue to discharge the extinguisher until you're a safe distance away. Do take note that your fire extinguishers should be regularly serviced and repressurized where necessary by a qualified fire service engineer. Thanks again for visiting our channel. We really hope you found it valuable. Please hit that like button and do subscribe to the channel so we can let you know if we release new material. That really is a huge help for us. Not to forget, I will leave links to the full course version with certificates that's available at our website safety.com, so you can use that for yourself, your team or your business, and we'll look forward to hearing your feedback on that. Until next time, take care.